All right, well, hello and hello again to all my creative artists out there. My name is Marcus Omari. I am a writer, a teacher, and a performance poetry coach with Orange County Poetry Out Loud. And in this special series, I'm here to offer you some coaching tips and tricks to help you get the most out of your Poetry Out Loud experience. As I said in the last video, we are going to explore the literature. We're going to get connected with the intent, and then we're going to get that unique message that you've chosen out to your audience. This video is all about poetry annotating, tonal mapping, what it is, why it's important, and how to get it done. So get your pens up, get your poems ready, and let's get our cartography on. It's a big word, I know. Let's just go do the poetry. All right, tonal mapping, annotating, scoring the poem. What is it, why, and how is it done? Well, first of all, annotating or tonal mapping is when we take the poem and we break it down. We literally go line by line and we extract what we feel is the feeling that we get when we read the poem. And also we look for the feeling that we want to project back out towards the audience. Again, that kind of circular, what we take in and what we want to give out. Also, we're looking for places that we can pause, right? And adjust the pacing when we're sharing the poem back. Also, points of emphasis. Where are we going to emphasize certain words and where are we going to fall back a little bit, right? That's going to be on our map. And then something else that we can put on there is places where we can do facial expressions or vocal variety. I always say when it comes to a map, it's better to have more and too much than not enough. When you have an unbelievable amount of information and detail on a map, you are sure to get where you're going. So without further ado, let's take a look at the poem. And you can choose any poem that you'd like. This is just a simple poem that we're going to use for the purposes of getting this done today. Great, so what we do, first thing is I got the poem from the Poetry Out Loud Bank. Then I copied and pasted into another document to enlarge it so we could use that to annotate. And then I printed up some tonal words that you can Google and search. We'll get into that later. Okay, let's take it from the top with step number 1, which is assigning tone and mood. Assign poetic tone and mood descriptions to poem lines and the poem's stanzas. Okay, in every poem, there's a story of emotions that goes from beginning to end. What it is that we felt when we read it and what we want to get back out is what we write after the line. When I read the line, Jenny kissed me when we met, I thought, okay, this is a fond memory. You see that mistake right there. Never mind my sloppy cursive writing that looks like all kinds of things. It's to each their own. The very next line, jumping from the chair she sat in. That initial word jumping, that's a verb, so it gives me that feeling of excitement. And also from the chair she sat in, that's a bit surprising. So I write the words exciting and surprise. That's the feeling I get and the feeling I want to give back out as far as tone and mood. Afterwards, time, you thief who love to get. Yeah, see, when I read you thief, I think disdain. I think upset with someone. And then who love to get. For some reason, I think knowing better. I know this is a little difficult to understand, but I get that kind of finger pointing feeling. And that's what I want to give out when I read the poem. We're going to speed it up a little bit, but you'll see I'm doing the exact same thing. After each line, I'm putting a tonal word or a mood phrase that reminds me of what I want to read into the poem as I'm sharing it. The very last line, Jenny kissed me, is declarative and boastful. As long as we write down what we felt and get it back out to the audience, we've done our job. Step number 2, pause and paste. This is where we highlight punctuation within the poem and insert original punctuation notation to create space. The first thing you'll see me doing is actually circling punctuation, the periods, the commas, the semicolons, other commas and periods. And then I change my mind. I say, you know what, what's going to be easier for me is actually just to embolden each punctuation or to highlight them. Therefore, as I'm reading, I can see them and know exactly where to pause or to stop completely with a period. Next, you'll see me start putting in slashes. That's just to show you how poets and writers use original punctuation to let themselves know, hey, this is where I want to pause or make a hard stop. Next, I'm actually going to put an arrow after a line, who love to get. That lets me know there's no punctuation at the end of that line. Therefore, I should read it directly into the next line. Who love to get sweets into your list. And then I do the rest of the boldening and highlighting for the rest of the poem. Number 3, emphasis and energy. Highlight words, phrases, or lines to deliver with emphasis and energy. I broke out my orange highlighter for this one. You can use a different colored pen or just circle or underline, whatever you wish to bring emphasis. The first word and the first line I do is I underline the word kiss. Next one is I highlight jumping, 2 verbs that stood out to me right away. And the third line, you thief, is a line I want to emphasize because it gives me that feeling that I want to point. Also, and put that in, right? That's another point of emphasis with energy. For the remainder of the poem, you'll see I'm doing the exact same thing, either underlining or highlighting, and ending with Jenny kissed me. So I definitely want energy on that last line. Number 4 is a must to sneak in, vocal direction and expressions. Highlighting words or lines to deliver with specific vocal energy and physical expressions. The first thing you saw me throw in there was a smiley face to let me know over the word kiss, I want to smile when I say that word. With the word jumping, I put an arrow, which lets me know I want the energy to go up. Over put that in, I want those words to be declarative and to go down. Put that in. Right? You'll see me circle the words health and wealth and draw a line, which lets me know I want those delivered in a similar fashion, which lets the audience know that not only do they sound the same, but the feeling is connected. Now, how about we give it a quick run through with our annotations and tonal mappings. Jenny kissed me when we met. Jumping from the chair she sat in. Time, you thief, who love to get sweets into your list. Put that in. Say I'm weary. Say I'm sad. Say that health and wealth have missed me. Say I'm growing old. But add, Jenny kissed me. There you have it. And so to recap, my young creative artists out there, one of the first things you want to do is take the poem and break it down stanza by stanza or line by line according to the mood or tone that you get when reading the poem, and also the mood or tone you want to project back out into the audience. The second thing you want to do is look for places you can notate pauses and pacing. That helps you keep a natural flow throughout your poem. What you saw me pay attention to is punctuation. Always look for the punctuation in the poem because it's like a cheat code. And if there isn't any punctuation, that's when you create the slashes and the dashes and put the punctuation in there on your own. The third thing you can do is look for points of emphasis. I used a highlighter. However you wish to do it, you can make underlines as well. But that's where you really want to punch certain words to emphasize that feeling or the line that wants to come out and really draw the attention of the audience. It also creates a space where when you're done with that emphasis, you can fall back into a more calm tone and flow more naturally. The fourth thing, place where you can put expression, right? Create some vocal variety that goes up and goes back down without being too dramatic. We'll get into that later, but you definitely want to score within your poem places where you want to swing up, go down, maybe put a smile a little bit on there. Remember that more details on the map is better than less. We want messy maps. That assures us to get to our destination how, when, in just the right way. Hey, if you really like this video, you can give us that digital thumbs up by liking the video. Also, feel free to leave a comment if you have a question about finding a poem, annotating a poem, or perhaps performing it. We can work as a community to get answers to those questions. And you will probably like the rest of the videos in the Arts Orange County Poetry Out Loud series. We also post additional videos on the profile that highlight the arts in Orange County. So, for Arts Orange County Poetry Out Loud, my name is Marcus Omari. Keep your pens up, keep your poems ready. Let's stay creative.